painting that. Wanna hop down, Biggie? Thanks. Hello plant friends and welcome to this video, and you might be wondering, why am I set up so strangely today? Well, if you didn't tell by the title or the thumbnail of this video, I'm going to be doing some painting today. Lindsey from Just Uno Moss has come up with this idea that a few of us plant tubers have been excited about. We're going to challenge each other to do some painting of a pot. So I've got a pot here, I've got some paints here, I haven't painted in quite a few years, so let's get to it. I am being challenged by Sarah from Peanuts Plants to paint something. I don't know what it is yet, so I'm going to watch her message to me. It's going to be on the screen, and then we're going to paint whatever it is. I'm thinking avocados because that's kind of my thing, but she might surprise me. Let's see what she does.
My name is Sarah and I'm from Peanuts Plants. I'm here today to challenge Scott, his painted pot challenge. And I got to thinking about it, and of course everybody's gonna think, what would you challenge him? Avocados, you know, Scott grows an avocado tree. But I'm not gonna do that, okay? So today, I'm gonna be challenging you, Scott, to do something a little bit different. I want to see you try to paint some of your pet fish. So it can be a fish bowl, it can be a fish tank, you can have plants in it. I'm gonna let you run with it, but I wanna see some of your fish. Really try to copy what your fish look like for your challenge. So I really hope you enjoy this challenge. I can't wait to see it, and I hope you have fun with it.
Okay, so not what I was expecting. Good thing I've set up here with where I've got Sulu, the fighting fish, in my fish tank that I set up in a video. I'll put a link in the card up there, and we're gonna see how we go. So it's not really what I was expecting, but I think we can probably make it work. Hey guys, Editing Scott speaking now, and I realise now that I finished the video that it is quite long, and I understand that not all of you will want to watch me paint a pot for 25 minutes, so if that's you and you just want to see what I came up with for this challenge and who I challenge later, skip ahead to the timestamp on the screen now. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So let's see what I've got here. So I've got a terracotta pot and a saucer. I have given these a good wipe over and dried them so that they're nice and clean and ready to go, both of those. I've got some water to clean my brushes in. I've got a hairdryer because there's no way I'm going to wait for this to dry in between layers, so I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Is that best practice? I don't know. That's okay. I've got a series of paints. I'm going to be using these acrylic paints. And I've got some more in this box here, and I've also got some paintbrushes, of course, and some paper towel because I thought I might need some, and I'm doing this on cardboard because I don't want to wreck any tables or anything. Where did my palette go? I have a paint palette somewhere. I left that on the bench. I'm going to go and get that one. And there we go. We're just about ready to start. I've also got an alarm clock here. What's that for? Well, I thought that would just be fun for tracking the passing of time, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to try and get that at an angle which is helpful for you to see that at home. Might need to prop that up on something perhaps. So I think I'm going to have some brown down here, possibly some black up the top because I kind of have... I'll go blue up the top actually, I'll change my mind. And I'll have the fish somewhere, and some of the plants, the Monte Carlo and the crypts, perhaps, we'll see. See how I'm feeling when the time comes. It's currently 1:45 and I'm wondering how long this is going to take. That's okay, we're gonna have some fun doing it. So I'm gonna give this a base coat first, I think. So I'm just gonna get, I think there is sometimes like just general base color, but I just have like base color paints, maybe, but I'm gonna use this white one. And I think I'm gonna put that in this bit here. Hopefully I've got some in there. There we go. Nice. I have no idea if that's gonna be enough or too much, but I think I probably need to have a bit, right? Okay, so I'm not going to bother too much about the inside. I'll go probably to like, might do this bit here, maybe. Do I worry about the bottom? I should probably do the bottom. Maybe. I mean, nobody's going to see it. It's going to be in there. Predicaments. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm going to use this big brush because I think that's going to be the most efficient. I think I need to wet it first. Let's get some water in there. I don't need to just straight. Fine, okay, and I'll just paint it now. So I'm going to then flip it over and paint this lip bit, but before I do that I'm going to just give this a quick dry, especially the bottom, so that I can rest it on it without pulling the paint off or making a mess. Okay, that's not quite dry to the touch, but that's okay. It's a little tacky, but we're going to continue. I'm probably going to need to give that one more coat of paint there. I think it's not quite hiding all of that brown like it of the terracotta that I'd probably like it to, but that's okay. I'm going to now paint this top bit, and we'll see how this goes. All right, we'll dry that off again. Yeah, it's pretty dry. Okay, I'm gonna give, oh, I've left a big thumbprint there. That's good. Okay, I'm going to give the outside one more coat of white paint. Just the whole thing. I'm not gonna bother with the base because nobody's gonna see that, so I don't mind if that's a little messier. Okay, it's by no means good, but it's only a base coat, so I think that'll be okay. I'm gonna dry it off again. I feel like there's still a lot of that terracotta color coming through. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but I think that once we've got another couple of layers of different colors, we'll be okay. I'm gonna have some coffee now because it's going cold. Okay, I think we're up to our next color. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the bottom bit, kind of like the soil, the substrate in the tank as a brown. So I'm gonna find some browns. So I've got, what have I got? I've got this Indian red oxide, probably not that one. I'm gonna find a brown. Thank you. Doesn't that? I've got a biscuit just appeared. Thank you, lovely. I've got brown earth. That sounds like a perfect brown color. I think, what else have I got? I've got carbon black. Let's start with the brown earth, and then we'll see how we go. I think I'm just gonna do it that color. I'm not opposed to mixing some colors a bit later, but I think for this, I'll start with a bit of just a brown bit, and I might add some splodges of slightly darker brown a little bit later. We might mix it with some of this carbon black and see how we go. Okay, let's it's quite on there. Okay, I've gotten it off after some battles. I'm going to pop it in there. I don't need quite as much. Oh, we'll start with that. I feel like this one is less viscous. That's okay. We'll start it off with that. I'm going to use the same brush. I think I need to make sure it's nice and clean. We don't want any colors. Actually, it really won't matter, I don't think. So I'm going to add a little bit of water there so it's not super. Actually, it's already a little bit runnier. That's okay. And I'm going to just paint it. I can totally. I'm going to paint the base as well. Oh, that might have gone up a little higher than I was going for, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. This works. I've got too much paint here probably. Oh, and after I do a couple of layers, I think it'll be okay. And really, rough is probably the kind of aesthetic I'm going for, if we can call rough an aesthetic, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to get it looking very clean. And so we're gonna have some interesting lines where, so long as we're stroking, I think horizontally, I think we're gonna look pretty fantastic and a bit rough, but that's okay. So I'm gonna just roughly paint it like that. Actually, that's not too far from the actual color of the substrate actually. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm actually reasonably pleased with how that's turned out. So I'm gonna dry that as well. Of course, I'm gonna eat my biscuit as well. Typically my coffee and my cold coffee now. I'll eat some biscuit. It's very good. Okay, and I'm going to give it a dry. Alright. That's not looking too unlike the base of my tank, but I reckon we need to add a little bit more variety. So we do have some lighter colors coming through. I'm okay with that actually, but I'd like to have a little bit of dark, some low lights as well. So we've got some highlights naturally, some natural highlights because of the white background. I want some low lights as well. So we're going to add a little bit of this carbon black, I think, to my mix, just a drop. I don't need much. That's liquid. Why is it liquid? That's just the oil, I guess, in there. I need to give it a shake. Maybe it passes its use by. Truth be told, I don't know how paint works. So I'm gonna try again. Okay, there's a bit of black in there. We'll go with that then, shall we? Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that is all good. I'm gonna mix it in, and that has added a touch of darkness. I'm gonna add a little bit more black then. I'm sure those who are painting are watching this and going, oh, please don't add any more. Oh, like that. Why is this one is really runny? I know that we don't do a lot of painting in this house, but I think that the paints are probably past their best. Oh, and that has gone a darker color, I think. We'll see. And so I'm just gonna, this is nice and watery now, so I'm just gonna stroke it around. That looks exactly the same. Okay, great. So I've gotten rid of my highlights now. So I'm gonna dry this off again, and I'm gonna try a different black adding it to this, because right now that's how is that more brown? I don't, it's gone lighter. Somehow it looks like it's gone lighter. Now I'm a little confused. So I'll dry it off again, and we'll try again. I've got a different black. I might use this lamp black. That doesn't make any sense, the name of that color to me, but that's okay. Okay, let's hope that this is a little bit better mixed than the previous one. So I'm going to add this to my current mix of, whoa, that's a lot of black there that I'm adding to this brown. Okay, we'll see how dark it turns out. Oh boy. Well, I've just made a slightly less. Oh, that's too dark. Great. Okay, so awesome. That's not really what I was going for. It came out a lot faster than I was thinking. So I think I'm going to use the palette next to it, and I'm going to add a little bit of that brown, and I'm just going to dip my paintbrush back into this almost black solution, and then I'll mix it in with this brown here, and that's the color I think that I was going for. Maybe a touch more. There we go. That's perfect. Okay, and I'm just gonna nice and streaky, light strokes around, and it's kind of working. I probably should have used a smaller brush for this bit, but that's okay. I'm still getting some color contrasts in there, which is what we're going for. And once again, we'll dry it. So I think I can now go on to my blue. So I've done that base color, that darker brown now. That's fine. It's not really the contrasting that I wanted, but it's all right. Okay, and now I'm going to do like a light blue for the water bit. So I'm going to turn that upside down now, and I'm going to paint it blue. I need a mix of blue. We've got cool blue. That sounds good. Let's use cool blue. And I'm just going to hopefully that comes out. Yep, there we go. Cool blue. And we're just going to use this color to start with. I'd like to get some darker blues and some lighter blues here and there, but we'll start with that. So I'm going to use the same brush that I have been using, making sure that it's nice and clean, because I don't want to get any browns in my water, because I have a clean fish tank and not a dirty one, hopefully. Maybe I need to switch to my next glass. This is the darker glass, this is the blue glass, and that looks... Yeah, it's that, yep, that's fine. Just making sure that I don't have any blacks in there that's gonna change the color of my blue. There we go, okay. And I probably wanted a touch more water in there. And now we paint it. I'm gonna hold the base. Whoa, that is not, I was kind of hoping this was like a sky blue. That is some kind of like toilet cleaner blue, which is not what I was going for, but we will make it work. I have a feeling we'll need a few layers of this. It's okay. Okay, that's looking blue. Wow, that's not kind of the color that I was going for. So I'm gonna try and lighten it up. That doesn't sound good. I'm gonna mix some white in with this mix, and I think so. Now that I've got a nice blue background, I'm gonna try and lighten it up a little bit with the next coat. So I'm gonna dry it, and then we'll just see how we go, I guess. All right, I'm gonna add some white to this blue now because that has gone the wrong color, and I need another layer of blue, so why not add a slightly lighter blue? Let's just see how we go. So I'm gonna add, I think, probably need well that should do it. We'll try that, and I'll give it a mix. Oh, see, that's kind of the color that I was going for to start with, so hopefully now we'll be able to get that. Oh! Still works. Oh, that's a better color. Oh, yes. That's what I wanted to start with. Okay, I'm not unhappy with that now. So that's turned into a much nicer blue. I've still got a bit of this white marking, so I'm going to try and paint over that a little bit more. But I think we're just about ready to go on to the... Oh, there we go, got rid of that now. See how that goes. I'm just about ready to go on to the green, so I'm going to dry it again. Get my hairdryer out, and then I'm going to start adding some Monte Carlo, that lovely ground carpeting plant. We'll see how we go. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to handle it yet, but we'll do our best. Okay, let's get some green going. So I've got this Fao green. I don't know how dark this is going to be. I want a fairly light one to start with, and then I want to add some... Actually, no, I could start... Ooh, why has it done that? I'm sure there's a fascinating scientific explanation to why it's done that, but I don't have it, so I'm gonna just shake it up a bit. And put it back on. That's better. Ooh, interesting. Okie doke. Now I'm thinking I could make it darker to start with, or I could start like dark and then add some light. I think I'm gonna do that. So I think I'm gonna start with this as a base color. I'm gonna change brushes to a smaller brush this time. I'm gonna try and mix in whatever split there. Oh gosh, that looks delightful. And I'm going to just kind of do some circly motions all the way around to kind of get those circly leaves. Just all the way around the pot. We'll just see how we go. I think I'm also going to add some, yeah, that doesn't look awesome, but that's okay, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, we'll let it dry. For the most part, that'll do. This is a really... I'm going to need to do a few layers of this because you can barely see it over the brown. So we'll keep going. But I will focus a bit more on the brown, and I'll kind of try and make it not quite as a straight a line as well. See how that looks now when I dry it. And that's it's a darker green now. I'm going to throw some white into this mix now to try and lighten it up a touch, and we'll get another layer, which should continue to add color to it, I guess, and but make it a little bit more visible, because right now it just kind of blends right into the brown, which is not really what I'm going for. So I'm going to add a bit more white, and then we'll keep going. I'm starting to get there. And I'm going to add even more white now, and I'm just going to try and round some of those. I am not confident in my ability to do that, but we're going to try it anyway. And that's not looking terrible now, I suppose. So I've got my bottom plants are looking reasonable now. So I'm going to actually just ignore my top plants, because I think that's going to be too hard for now, and I'd like to move on to my fish. So I'm actually noticing that a little bit has come off there, so I'm going to repaint over that. Then I'm going to give it all a dry again, of course, and then we're going to make the fish happen. I've just realized that I haven't painted this yet, so I'm going to do the first coat for the fish, and then I'm gonna let it dry a bit more, and then I'm gonna do this. And the neighbour's got some kind of power tool going, so I'm sure you can probably hear that a little bit. So I apologise for the noise. Let's get some red going. So I've got a few reds to choose from. I've got cool red. Let's see what else I've got. And I've got naphthol crimson. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just throw a little bit in each corner just to see what we got. So I'm gonna give this a shake though, because that helped the other ones that were in this box. Now to my eye, they look almost identical, almost. I think this one's a touch like cooler. This is the cool red, so I might just be influenced by that. I'm gonna mix them together, and then I'm going to paint Sulu. Let's see, I'm gonna paint him here, I think. Hope that's not still tacky. Let's see, so I'm gonna make sure this brush has got no green on it, hopefully, because he's not green, he is close enough, and I'm gonna mix those two together. That's actually pretty close to his color, I reckon. And now I haven't drawn any outlines, so I'm just gonna freehand this, so I'm feeling a little dangerous. So I'm gonna have his head up this end and his tail going that way, and we're just gonna commit. I'm gonna have a little less color on my brush. Maybe I'll outline it with my brush first. So I have terribly shaky hands, so that doesn't make this easier. I mean, it already looks a little bit like a child painted this. And the last time I painted like this, I was probably a child. So I think I'm not doing too terribly. So on his long flowing tail there. I don't want to go too heavy because I know that pulls the paint off. Like it's doing now. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to let that dry a bit. Actually, that's not looking too terrible. I'm pretty pleased with that. I should use a strengths-based approach. That's looking pretty good. Okay, let's paint this one then. So, do I bother with a base coat? So that it matches that, I'll probably give it a base coat of white. Where's my white gone? Oh gosh, I've just added blue to that. That's good. It's okay. And I'm not going to worry about the very center of this one because nobody will see that. The pot will be on it, and in fact, because water's going to be running on it, I reckon it'll probably make it go weird and bad. I really should paint that top bit there, so I'll do that as well. Now I know that's not a great base coat, but that's going to do, because I'm going to now add brown, and I'm just going to use the dark brown that we've already got there, which is pretty dark already. Still, that's okay. That'll be fine. So I'm going to get into that, and we will paint it. All right, that's looking pretty brown. I'm gonna actually just leave that now to air dry. I don't think I'm gonna need to touch that again. I'm getting a little bit messy myself, that's okay. I'm gonna mix up a little bit more blue because I'm noticing that there are a few spots that I need to touch up again. So just while that red continues to dry, I'll just mix up a touch more blue. I'll fix up that, and then we will continue on with the fish. That has pretty well sorted out any of the bits that had come off due to me resting it on slightly damp paint still. So I think, I'm just gonna throw a few just little different colors there. I think we're probably just about right to, actually I will dry this off a little bit more, and then I'm going to finish off with the fish. Okay, let's continue with the fish then. Where did that come from? Was that on the thing, or was that on me? Just got a splodge of blue from somewhere. It might have been from the inside, it might have been from my fingers, I don't know. I did layer it on pretty thick, that's all right. Okay, let's use my small brush. Make sure it's properly clean. Then we're gonna add some more red to the fish. It's possible that I've made him a fat boy now, but I'm going to now dry this. I'm going to add a little bit of white to the red to make it a light white. Well, that's going to make it a pink. No, I'm just going to paint a little bit of white, just some very thin lines going down to give him a little bit of shape. Actually, No, we're gonna do it with a darker red. So I keep changing my mind here, that's okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit of black actually to the red to try and give him a little bit more shape, and then we'll do some black for the eyes as well. So I'm gonna dry him again, and then we're gonna paint him. So I'm gonna add, now this is the tricky bit. I just wanted to add a touch of black. I don't wanna add much, so I'm gonna do it a little bit different this time. I'm gonna add it to the middle. Oh! It's okay. That's a lot. That's why I added it to the middle one. So I'm going to mix a little bit in, and I want my finest brush. I wonder if this one will be better. Nope, this one will be best. This one will be best, that's fine. Don't have any really, really fine ones, that's okay. So I'm gonna just take a little bit here. I'm just gonna add it to this red until I'm happy with the dark red color. That's actually kind of what I want. Okay. Now we try to add some shape to him. So I'm gonna kind of add a little bit of a line to define his body here. So I really struggle with this because I'm left-handed and I have shaky hands. And you can't really see that at all, can you? I can see it a little bit. And then I'm going to just add a few little strokes just down his tail there, along here. Just going to touch more black. That's what I want, yes. Probably need to add a little bit for the gills. He's kind of got like a dark red eye with a black pupil, so I'm going to try and capture that here. So I'm going to have a dark red eye, just maybe a touch darker. Yeah, it's not bad. Actually, I might leave it there. And he has got a mouth as well, which I'll do a bit more. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a spitting image of him. There we go. Not terrible, I don't think. I'm pretty happy with that actually. I'm kind of like to add a bit of he's got a fin here as well, so I'll try and paint that in as much as I can as well. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, so now I'm gonna give it. I'm going to let that air dry now. After a day or so, I am going to seal it. I'm going to just touch up a few of the other blue bits which have come off, and then we're going to wrap it up. And there we have it. I'm actually really happy with how this has turned out. I'm not going to handle it right now. I will put some more pictures on the screen once I've finished it, and perhaps even once I've potted up. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it just yet, but I'm very excited once I've sealed it and I'm able to put something inside it. Thank you, Sarah, for suggesting such a creative idea. And I get to challenge Lindsey from Just Uno Moss, the creator of this idea, so what a privilege for me. Now, I didn't get to do any avocados with this, so I think somebody should get to do avocados. So, Lindsey from Just Uno Moss, your challenge is to paint avocados, or an avocado-related thing, on your pot. Enjoy! Make sure you check out Lindsey's video on Just Uno Moss, as she is going to do one of these. There's a link to that video in the description below. And make sure you check out Lindsey's channel just as a wider. If you haven't watched any of her videos, she really does like to play around with the format of these plant tube videos, and she's doing some really creative and fun stuff. Also go and check out Sarah from Peanuts Plants video. There is a link to that in the description as well. Sarah is the one who tagged me to do this challenge. I will show you the completed product while I play my outro music. Thank you very much for watching. It has been great to have you here. Let me know what you thought about this kind of video in the description below. I thought it was a bit of fun to step outside of the avocado box and to paint something, get a little bit creative. Make sure you let me know with that like button as well. Make sure you subscribe to Scott Grows an Avocado Tree so as to not miss any future avocado updates. Thanks once again for watching, and I will see you next time.
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.